As we get more powerful, we just sort of just plow through everything faster and faster. Kind of nice, actually. Okay, that's a Pomander of Speed. Did we even use a Pomander of Strength and Steel on that boss fight? I don't think we did. I think we just killed him. We were just like, get wrecked. No, we must have cut out on our chat room. Yeah, it seems that we had a little snafu with our internet connection for a moment. But we are back now. Ooh, lots of enemies. That's probably enough to kill that whelp. Go, Titan! Are you enough to kill him? Yes. Destruction. Go! Emerald, yeah, I think. The super fast firing version, the green one. Nice. Yeah, with the summoner, these treasure rooms aren't really that bad. With the Gunbreaker, they take absolutely forever, unfortunately. Okay, cool. Let's grab these treasures. These treasures. And let's save those. Save our resources at the moment. Strong. Well, let strength be grants. So the world might be mended, right? Didn't that voice actor for Demon's Souls... Didn't she voice the doll in Bloodborne as well? I think she voiced the doll in Bloodborne. If I remember correctly, she's a Russian voice actress. Okay, let's go. Alright, cool. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Okay, cool. I always forget that they are a ranged... That Emerald is ranged. He's casually, like, shoots them with something. Whereas Topaz and Ruby sort of just jog over and uppercut them with their tail. Witching, those are important. Alright, blast this guy. I think this gives us... Increasing the potency of Ruin, Ruin 2, and Ruin 3 by 50% and Outburst by more. Sounds good. Well then. Instantly dead. There was a chest in there. I don't know what it was, though. Oh, it's a whelp! Is there, like... Is there a point behind it being a living whelp? Is there, like, a dead whelp? Instead of a living whelp? I mean, obviously, but, like... Why would you need to differentiate those? But again, there could be an undead well. The unliving well. Yeah, man, Summoner is so powerful. So much damage. Things just melt. Okay, it's Palace Slime. We actually do want this to die relatively quickly. And down it goes. Alright. Let's head west. See what kind of cool hijinks we can get up to. As we buff ourselves and deal a little bit more damage. Yeah, we're still able to two-shot most of these guys, so that is good. Excellent. Intuition. Hello, Mr. Slime. Oh, you're alive. Not supposed to be alive? Die already. Okay. Yeah, one of the other reasons why the ranged DPS are very popular in deep dungeons is because Peloton allows them to run and move faster. Let's see, we are level 26 right now. It's pretty good. Let's see if we can find more people to kill. Find some clock towers to climb up into. It's horrible. Alright. Where are we? Texas? Alright. Oh man, that was something back in the day. Ooh. I think it was in the 80s or the 90s. Some, I think it was a University of Texas student, had a mental breakdown. And he decided to take a rifle up to the top of one of the clock towers that are on Texas University and start taking pot shots at people. As you can imagine, this didn't really end well. For many, many people, unfortunately. Okay, Affluence. And Serenity. Ooh. Treasure room. Daisy. Yeah. Okay. We want to kill these slimes as soon as possible, because they're really friggin' dangerous. If they are allowed to live long enough, they will one-shot you. Alright, Cobra Kai. Get wrecked. I remember watching, I think it was Kitchen Nightmares? No, it was Hell's Kitchen on YouTube. And there was this kind of a fat guy who like thought he was the best cook ever. And he was just like terrible. I mean, it was kind of funny, but like, Like he was trying to like do some faux martial arts despite the fact that he wasn't flexible enough to do it. And people were calling him Cobra Kai. That was pretty funny. And he couldn't cook. Couldn't really cook at the caliber that was expected. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah, like things like Hell's Kitchen, it's like, okay, this is intended for like really high-skilled cooks, like people who are really at the top of their game. Why in the world would you go there if you're not particularly great at cooking? I don't get it. Okay. So we have some Pomanders of sight. So as we find more Pomanders... Ooh, he survived. That is pretty funny. It's raw! Throws it on the ground. Yeah. Like, he's just had enough of their crap, basically. It's like... It's the equivalent of being, like, an IT person and looking at the new person coming in and just looking at the mess of horrible cables they have. And you're just sitting there wondering, like, what in the hell is this person doing? They, like... Okay, so so many people don't know this. So when you go into a server room, you can always tell if it's somebody who's competent or competent. Somebody who is competent or incompetent. So a competent person, they will like have their cables going into server racks like organized. Like they're going into the server, they're coming down, they're usually like twist tied together or like tied together, and like they go down in this bundle of cables, so it's easy to find out where everything is. Easy to track where everything is, and it's just fantastic. Then you have the incompetent people. Boy. And like those people, you see the nightmare that they're creating, and it's just like, oh my god, please get your act together, because it's just a big nightmare. Like, they're not using properly long cables. Instead, it's just like, I'm gonna find the shortest cable to go from here to there. It's just a nightmare. Just as I assume you have horror stories. Do you work at IT, Dozeless? Have you had to deal with these people before? You're a miner? Okay. When I worked at the school district for a little bit, we had these carts that we would drag around that would sometimes go from between classes. They're really supposed to stay in just one class, but sometimes they would get dragged around. And so the cable management on the back of these carts was just god awful. Like, I cannot begin to even explain just the sheer amount of incompetence on this on those laptop parts. It's just like, oh my god, please do it correctly. It's like with IT, there really is a correct, well, it's like a cart that you can drag between classrooms, because in education right now, so much stuff is done on computers. Like, because of COVID, a lot of learning is actually done on laptops now. And so because of this, there's a big push towards having laptops in every single room. Sometimes you'll have classes that don't have a teacher, or sometimes you'll have classrooms that are unused. So what oftentimes happens is those computer racks are just, those computer carts are just taken in between classrooms for teachers who need them. But it's crazy. It's just, it's nuts. But yeah, that tends, like, the cable management on those is just terrible. I remember I was long-term substituting at a school, and I just decided eventually to fix it. Because it was bothering me. Like, the computers never charged the way they were supposed to. So, yeah. It was what it was. Alright, so... Honestly, I don't even think they used an IT guy for that. Instead, I think it was like they just had a student do it. And unfortunately, when you force students to do that stuff, they tend to not understand the value of doing it properly. That tends to be the case. Like, usually whenever you have students do work like that, they tend to not really value doing it the correct way. And so they tend to just sort of half-ass it because they feel like they have to do it. If that makes any sense. Yeah, they just want their day. They just want it to be over so they can get back to screwing around, which is perfectly fine. They can screw around all they want. Like, I don't care. I'm not criticizing them for screwing around. It's school. They're not really learning anything in America. It's like, oh, my seminar or whatever class, my easy class is now turned into I have to go and do all this stuff because the school district is too cheap to hire a proper... It's too cheap to hire a proper IT person who can do it, and to have a proper IT team who can do this. Okay, sounds good, I guess. Next, the school district will be asking students to do, like, legal research for them when they're getting sued. Well, he seemed like he was interested in law. Of that 16-year-old law student, law school graduate. No, officer. He did his own research. That is one of my favorites, by the way, whenever I hear, like, did my own research. That's right. Oh, student council be the school's lawyers. That is 100% what they could do if they could, what they would do if they could get away with it. It's just like, man, schools in America are so underfunded. It's kind of bad in a way, but at the same time, you just sort of have to laugh. Okay, I don't have enough time to take care of him, and hello you, Mr. Palace Kubra. No, he'll beat me. Yeah, I think that's kind of unfortunate about all that good stuff, is that a lot of the time in America, there's this really weird idea that like teachers are just losers. Oh, nice. Yeah, America has this really... Oh, interesting. So it's kind of... So how your school works is it seems to be something where the kids are kind of taught by the same teachers from an early age. All the grades are combined by the grade under them. I don't quite understand what that means. So the students, like, graduate into the next grade with the same teachers? Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So you have the same teachers for 2 years. Honestly, that is a nice way to do it. Like, usually what ends up happening is students go from one teacher to the next like 3-4 times in a day, and as a result they feel like they can screw around a lot more. But if you're with the same teacher for like every day, or the same set of teachers, like you won't screw around as much, simply because the teacher knows who the problem kids are and is not going to put up with your crap. You know this. It's like you find out what teachers are cool and what teachers will like call your parents if you cause a little bit of a disruption. And who will continue to call your parents every single day until behavior changes. Sometimes that class period. Those are always my favorites. Yeah, if it's a private school, usually what ends up happening is the parents tend to have a higher standard for their kids if they're paying money to send their kids to a private school. And so as a result of that, the students tend to be a bit more... They tend to not be as, like, disrupted. Because if they are, like, their parents probably make over $100 grand a year or something, and are not going to put up with their kids causing a whole lot of problems. The teachers can tend to get away with being more lax, because the kids will still do good. The kids will still do well in school. When I was teaching, there were... Hello, second year. When I was teaching, there were, like, students where if they wanted to leave class and go, like literally go across the street to, like, go to Denny's or something, or some sort of eatery, McDonald's or something, the accepted unofficial practice was to be like, okay, see you later. Because if you forced them to stay in class, they would just be disruptive. Okay, do I still have emerald? No, darn. Oh, that's a problem. I mean, on one hand, it was like, how lucky, but on the other hand, it's like they are allowed to do that because they're seen as, like, essentially, like, failures. So... I don't know if that would be lucky or not. It's just like they're usually the kids that the teachers have just given up on, and that admin is just kind of watching like a hawk. And that makes sense. So, I mean, like from one perspective, it feels like it's, you know, it's really nice, but in reality, it's literally just the teachers giving up. So it's really not good. There's this push in America where, in effect, because teachers are... Can we mail him? Learn well. There's this push in America to kind of just pass students at this point. Like, I've literally been to schools, I've literally worked at schools where a student cannot fail. And if that sounds bad to you, that's because it should. Like, we're talking, the student turns in, like, one thing all semester and they pass. With, like, a D. Now, I want you to ask yourself, if you're taking calculus, and you turn in the very first assignment of the entire year, and then nothing else, and you get a D, because you got a 1 out of, like, 100 on the very first assignment, do you think you will be prepared for calculus 2? Probably not. So then you get to calculus 2. You turn in one assignment, you get a tenth of a point because you sort of showed your work and it was good enough for them to give you at least some credit. So you get a D, and then you graduate from high school, and you go to college where they don't have that policy, and you're supposedly in calculus 3. You know, good job. You know. It's amazing. You're ready for Calculus 3 straight out of college? That's amazing. And then you get there, and it's like, hey, guess what? We can't really do what they were doing there. You're kind of just screwed. So... Anyway, in a lot of ways, it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, it gets people through the system, but on the other hand, it kind of sets them up for failure. Alright, we have Titan now. Excellent. Okay, that's a silver chest. We don't need that. There's a gold chest here. And there's a gold chest in the other room. So we will see what we can do with that. Affluence. Alright then. Let's use that for the next floor. Purity, nice. So if we run into a mimic and get crotch rotted, we can at least you know, get rid of it. We found antibiotics. Alright. Why did we use that now? We're supposed to use that second. Oh well. Is what it is. Remember, Fen, order of operations, right? Yeah, I'm looking forward to Dawn Trail. I think it's Dawn Trail. The newest expansion. Should be a lot of fun. I do like the idea of the Corsair. That sounds like it can be really fun. Could be interesting. As we just wait for the silence to run its course so that we can do stuff. Who remembers? All right, let's hit him with our book. Learn better. Welcome back, Noseless. Welcome back. We got silence, so we just had to hang out for a second. Alright, Mr. Morble. It's time to die. Take that. Alright. Okay, we don't really need to use Fester or anything on the seedlings, so we'll just try to kill them quickly. Well, Dozeless, I hope that you are able to get into a good college and pursue what you want to do in life. Kind of view that as more of a right at this point. I mean, we're in America, so people should be allowed to pursue their interests and to do what they want to do. Okay, since it seems like a nice dungeon for leveling up your Aether pool, at least. Hello, Mr. Morble. Goodbye, Mr. Morble. Do you know what you want to do yet, by the way? Do you have any ideas, any guesses? Back when I was in high school, I wanted to be a game designer. Let's do strength and steel, so that we can survive his damage. Ooh, what do you want to do in the Navy? You want to go officer and enlisted? Very nice. Yeah, the nice part about the Navy is that it is relatively easy to get into it right now. Mainly because they kind of just need people. Is my understanding. It's kind of a scenario where they really do just need warm bodies. But yeah, my dad was a Navy brat, I think it was. So yeah, I fully understand how it goes. The bases are rather nice. Make sure you get married before you go in, because your pay goes higher if you're married when you go into the Navy. As for officer, I believe you need a bachelor's degree. I would highly recommend